The galaxy sent its strongest against Earth, not one returned. HFY Sci-Fi Stories. Before we dive in, drop a quick "Humanity Stands" in the comments. It may seem small, but trust me, it really helps to share this story with more sci-fi fans like us. I love to see who's watching and know you're on this journey with me. Let's get started and see where this battle takes us. Chapter 1. Fire on the Frontier. The Dominion fleet arrived like a black tide blotting out Jupiter's storms. Thousands of vessels, each a monument of alien warcraft, slipped from hyperspace in shimmering arcs of green flame. Their hulls stretched, kilometers long, bristling with spines of plasma artillery and gravitational rams. To the galaxy they were unstoppable, an armada forged from 10 conquered civilizations, the elite of the elite. The galaxy had whispered for years that Earth was weak, primitive, a relic species left behind while empires rose and fell. The Dominion believed the lie. They would learn the truth too late. "Admiral, forward vanguard reporting no resistance." The alien comms officer sneered. "Sensors detect minimal orbital infrastructure. No planetary defense grid worth noting. Earth is undefended." On the flagship Vorax Wrath, Supreme Admiral Zorak's scales gleamed in the dim light. He curled his claws into the armrest of his throne. "Then this will be a harvest, not a war," he growled. "Deploy shock troopers. Prepare the plasma forges. By cycle's end, Earth's people will kneel or burn." But as the Dominion fleet surged past Jupiter's orbit, something stirred in the void, invisible until the moment they fired. A lattice of orbital platforms, hidden within Jupiter's radiation belt, activated in unison. The darkness lit up. Railgun slugs, meter-thick tungsten spears accelerated to a fraction of light speed, tore through the alien vanguard. Dominion cruisers erupted, gutted in seconds, their hulls shredded before shields could react. A dreadnought rolled on its axis, venting atmosphere and bodies into space before vanishing in a chain reaction of fire. The aliens froze in shock. "Contact! Unknown mass driver signatures!" shouted one officer. Then the human fleet revealed itself. Stealth carriers decloaked across the asteroid belt. Corvettes shaped like blades, painted black against the void, darted into formation. Squadrons of strike fighters screamed out of hidden bays, engines burning cold and blue. Zorak staggered to his feet. "Impossible! Earth had no fleet, no war capacity. On the tactical hollow, crimson markers flared around his armada. Earth had a fleet. They had been waiting." "Engage!" Zorak roared. "Crush them before they regroup." But the humans were already moving. Wolf. Packs of corvettes swarmed Dominion destroyers, darting between firing arcs, hammering engines and weapon mounts with precision torpedoes. Fighters buzzed the dreadnoughts like hornets, lancing them with railgun fire. And the orbital platforms, hundreds of them, disguised as moons and debris, kept firing. On board the human flagship Resolute, Commander Juno Vera stood on the bridge, jaw clenched. "Status? Enemy vanguard collapsing, ma'am. But they've still got numbers." Vera didn't flinch. "Then we bleed them until they stop pressing." Her voice carried across every human channel, calm but edged with steel. "Remember who you are." "They think we're prey. Show them what happens when predators hunt predators." A Dominion battleship vaporized 3 human corvettes in an instant. The Resolute's spinal railgun retaliated, cutting the alien vessel in half with a relativistic tungsten rod. But Admiral Zorak was not done. "Release the war beasts." Pods split open in the void, unleashing biomechanical horrors with wings of steel and maws of plasma. They tore into human squadrons, ripping fighters apart. For a moment, it looked like the tide might turn. Then a new voice cut through the comms. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2. Initiate Thanatos Protocol. The Dominion froze. None of them knew what it meant. But Commander Vera smiled. Chapter 2. The Ghost Fleet, from the far side of Neptune's orbit, space rippled. 20 massive silhouettes emerged, black, as the void itself, unlit, invisible until now. The Ghost Fleet. A legend even among humans, ships with no official registry, built in secret after centuries of being mocked and isolated by the Galactic Coalition. Entire generations had been raised in silence, constructing this hidden armada, and now it was unleashed. The Dominion screamed warnings as the Ghost Fleet opened fire. Hundreds of antimatter torpedoes streaked through space, detonating against battleships with blinding force. Dominion dreadnoughts vaporized in blue fire, whole flotillas erased in seconds. Zorak staggered. What are these ships? On board the Ghost Fleet flagship Nemesis, Admiral Elias Rourke leaned forward. His voice low, steady. You wanted humanity's strength. Here it is. The Dominion tried to regroup. Formations tightened, shields overlapped, war beasts redirected. But it didn't matter. The Ghost Fleet was chaos itself, unpredictable, merciless, human. And then came the boarding actions. Stealth. Shuttles cloaked in thermal dampening paint slipped between Dominion hulls. Marines in exo-armor cut their way into corridors. Close quarters combat erupted, shotguns, flamethrowers, blades against chitin and scale. Squad leader Ramirez transmitted as they stormed a Dominion carrier. Command, they're not just ships. They're hives, living hives. They're breeding more of themselves inside the hulls. Screams echoed through the channel. And they're learning us. Back on the Resolute, Vera's knuckles whitened. If the Dominion could adapt to human weapons, how long could they hold? Chapter 3. The Bargain of Cowards. When word of the battle reached the Galactic Coalition, their governments panicked. For centuries they had mocked Earth, calling humanity dangerous, unstable, primitive. They had pushed them to the edges of galactic politics, refusing them entry into trade or defense pacts. Now they sent envoys. Humanity, the insectoid delegate begged over holo transmission. The Dominion cannot be stopped. They have destroyed every race that resisted, but together, perhaps, Admiral Rourke cut him off. No, the envoy trembled. But no species enters human space, Rourke said coldly. You feared us. You mocked us. You exiled us. Now you'll see why. The transmission ended. Humanity would fight alone. Chapter 4. The Butcher's Calculus. The Dominion unleashed their new weapon. Subspace destabilizers. Wormholes ripped open inside Sol, bypassing defense lines. Whole fleets poured through near Saturn and Uranus, bypassing the Kuiper defense. The largest battle in human history erupted above Neptune. Cinematic chaos, railgun storms, nuclear torpedoes, point defense shredding organic spines hurled by Krith warships. Human ingenuity against alien monstrosity. Rourke made his choice. Deploy Project Thanatos. Dozens of unmanned frigates, each loaded with antimatter warheads, accelerated to suicidal speed. One by one, they rammed Dominion ships, detonating in titanic fireballs that ripped dreadnoughts apart. Messages flooded human comms as the drone crews, volunteers who had uploaded their minds into temporary shells, spoke their last words. For Earth. For my daughter. For humanity. The void burned with sacrifice. When the smoke cleared, the Dominion flagship still stood, and then it spoke. Humanity. We know you now. We will become you. Chapter 5. No retreat, no surrender. Earth braced for annihilation. The Dominion's surviving fleet advanced on Sol itself. Rourke, Vera, and the remnants of the Ghost Fleet prepared their final gambit. Lure the Dominion into the sun. Gravitic mines, solar plasma accelerators, hidden weapons built into the very orbit of Mercury, all activated as the Dominion drew near. The final battle ignited in the corona of Earth's star. Inside the Dominion flagship, Marines fought room by room, planting the Helios bomb, a star core ignition warhead. Squad leader. Ramirez bled from a dozen wounds as he transmitted his last words. For Earth, for humanity, Light them up. The Helios bomb detonated. The Dominion flagship and half its swarm were dragged into the sun's inferno. The star flared brighter than it had in millennia, swallowing the enemy whole. Silence fell across the system. Scarred, bloodied, but alive, humanity stood victorious. Not one Dominion ship escaped. Epilogue. The fear across the galaxy. The news spread like wildfire. The Dominion had sent its strongest, its best. Its undefeated armada, none returned, and in the shadows of every alien council chamber, a single truth echoed. No one attacks Earth, not anymore. Humanity's strength has been tested, but the war is far from over. If you want to see where this fight goes next, hit like, comment, Humanity Endures, and don't forget to subscribe or follow so you don't miss the next story. Until next time, remember, no one leaves human space alive.